Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce, and today we're doing another indie horror spotlight. Today, I have with us the writer of the new horror flick, The Mummy Murders. I have William Donahue with us. William, welcome to the Horror Room.
Thank you very much, Travis. It's great to be on here.
It's a pleasure, my friend. It's a pleasure, my friend. So, tell us a little bit about the Mummy Murders.
Yeah, The Mummy Murders is a psychological thriller horror film, kind of about the ego of a serial killer, and what happens when another man is credited with his crimes.
And I've had the pleasure of interviewing Colin, who's the director,
Mhm.
as well as Cole, who plays young Joe. Now, you're the writer. This is your brainchild. What gave you the idea for this movie?
When I got out of the military, I went to funeral school and became an embalmer. And about a year into it, that's when I got the idea for the character. Later on, I ended up going to film school. In my original film school, I met a great cinematographer. He actually turned out to be my original mentor, Colin Bressler, was the director, and he wanted to do a horror film. And he asked me what I thought, and I said I love it. I write it all the time. I have this character, and he joined that with an idea that he had for the plot, and we worked together, and I think we created something great, original, I think, to say the least.
It's definitely original. Yes, I've had a chance to watch this amazing ride. By the way, we've talked. I'm a mortician as well, so and I've met a lot of horror writers and directors who are morticians. I'm like, wow, it's interesting to see that a lot of morticians are going into the horror industry.
Yeah, you're the first one I had met, but I had heard that by other people. So I now I'm curious to kind of see which of these. I've probably seen some great movies written by a mortician at some point, so I might have to do a little research on that. That'd be cool to
Yes,
know.
actually, not just random facts. Um, can't think his name. The lead singer of Korn. Did you know he was a mortician before he became a rocker?
I did not. That's pretty
Yes,
cool to know.
yes, he was a mortician. So there's a lot of famous morticians.
Nice,
Yes.
very cool.
So were there any writers or directors or filmmakers that you got inspiration from when you were making this movie?
Um, I don't know. I guess I've kind of, in a sense, like all film schools would tell you, kind of influenced by every horror movie you've seen or every writer. I particularly love Joseph Stefano. Uh, he did Psycho, my favorite movie. Eli Roth. There's some great screenwriters out there. I don't know if I was particularly inspired, maybe subconsciously, I'm not sure, but I guess in everything I do, I'm inspired by someone on some level. Um, but M. Night Shyamalan, he's
Great.
he always inspires me, especially if I'm having writer's block or something like that. I'll
Yeah.
read one of his screenplays or something like that, and he's great. He's great.
Now the character of Joe,
Uh,
he's an interesting character.
Thank you.
I must say. And did you do any research of serial killers?
Oh, I've always been a true crime fan, and that's actually something me and my dad ha- have kind of watched and been into since I was a kid. So I've been researching and watching documentaries and reading biographies of different serial killers since I was a teenager. So this has always been kind of in my wheelhouse. I guess I was looking for an excuse to write it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So this is won't be my last for sure. But I think it came together pretty well. Yeah, I love Joe. He's great.
Joe's amazing, amazing villain, amazing
Thank you.
villain.
Thank you.
All right, so as a horror fan, I'm pretty sure you've been a horror fan for majority of your life.
Yep. Yep.
What was the first horror movie that you saw that made you a fan?
Psycho.
It was 1% Psycho.
100% Psycho. I have Psycho tattoos. Love Alfred Hitchcock. Norman Bates. It was always a character that just was just always in my head. He's always in my head. You know, I love it. It was the first. It wasn't my first horror movie, but it was the first horror movie that I watched that really just got me thinking. You know what I mean? About the psychological aspect of a serial killer and what they're thinking and how they act and why they do what they do. You know what I mean? And I think Norman Bates Norman Bates probably portrays that idea of what a great character is in my head more than anything else, I think.
Have you noticed that most serial killers, real ones, and even the ones in movies, they all have mommy issues?
Yeah. They really do. They really do. And Norman Bates more than any of the others by far. Yeah, I've noticed that. I guess, and that's probably true to life, though. You know,
Yeah.
when you read some of the documentary or watch the documentaries or read the biographies, there always seems to be something triggered by the relationship with the mother. So
Exactly.
that's always been pretty interesting to me.
It's kind of weird that like boys who have this mommy issue, they go to the life of violence and serial killers, and like girls who have daddy issues, they go to promiscuous sex and stripping and porn. So
Right.
it's weird that they go to two different areas.
Yeah, it is pretty weird. I guess men and women are different. I guess. What is it? Men are from Mars and women are from Venus.
Yeah.
Yeah. They definitely react differently, but they react all the same. So it's definitely a important part. I have a great relationship with my mom, so I didn't write Joe because of that. What are you thinking that? But yeah, I've definitely noticed that. You're absolutely right about that.
Now, were you a part of the casting of selection? Or did you leave that?
Yeah, Colin did most of the casting. We had a great producer, Marla Mackley, and Colin would get audition tapes or interview people, and he would send them to me and say, "Hey, what do you think?" So he helped me stay involved in that selective process. But yeah, it was interesting to see the different auditions and stuff. Jason Scarborough by far had the best grasp on the character from day one, I think. So it was an easy choice.
Now, when it comes to casting, I don't know anything about this because I've never been in a movie. But I've seen casting calls, so they're looking. Let's say it's for a white male between the ages of 30 and 40, and I've even seen they put attractive. Do you ever have people come in and they're not in that age range, or they're not attractive, or whatever? Like, have you seen those issues?
Yeah, you see it sometimes. Everybody wants the part. I try to do acting myself. I did some acting in the Mummy Murders as well. So everybody thinks they're pretty. Everybody thinks they're beautiful, unless because their mama told them that, unless they got mommy issues, right?
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, I've definitely seen that. And you don't be mean or anything like that, of course. And some characters really kill it, or some actors really kill the character. Kill the audition. They do great. And I guess ultimately, when you're looking for somebody beautiful or handsome or something, I think it actually limits your opportunities, your choices, because you could have this ugly guy that's just the greatest actor in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it kind of, I understand why people want those particular kinds of actors and actresses based on the character, but I do think it kind of limits the choices a little bit. It can knock away great talent, you know.
I agree. Because one thing I brought up in a couple of interviews, I was like, you know, horror movies back in the day, Psycho, and ones like that, you know, it had a variety of different looking people. You know,
Yeah.
it was diverse, and like newer horror movies, it's everybody's super attractive, everybody's like in shape, and I'm like, that's not how really people look, you know. And
Right.
like, you know, when it came to horror has always been real, and you know, they've had disabled people, they've had, you know, overweight people,
Mhm.
but the killer never discriminated.
Yeah. Right.
Yes, so like it's just weird to now see like when it comes to horror, the cast is typecast. There's this look that they go for, and horror has never been that way.
No, no, horror's been great in that regard, and I guess that's Hollywood. You know, I guess that's what people expect in the major movies. They want the most beautiful people, you know, the most handsome guys, chiseled jaws. But horror's always stayed true to the character, I think, more than some of
Mhm.
the other genres. So they haven't been so uh, as biased. You know, some of the newer horror movies you'll see, everybody's beautiful. Like, God, how is everybody beautiful? But
Yes,
at the same time, some of those beautiful actors really do great job. So,
it's true.
but I do love the fact that horror still kind of keeps it real, right?
Exactly. Anybody can get killed,
Yeah, right. Yeah,
not just good-looking people.
yep, yep.
So, is there? So, you've been writing for a while.
Uh,
Is there a story or a script that you have hidden up on a shelf, and for whatever reason, you haven't put it out there yet?
um, no, I've written. Let's see, I've written 5 features. I'm finishing my 6th. I've written close to 70 short films and dozens and dozens of short stories. I'm really proud of them all. One of my favorite scripts I've ever written is a Leprechaun reprise. And a lot of one way to get your scripts and screenplays out there, especially when you're trying to break into the industry, is of course film festivals.
Hmm.
And I have sent this Leprechaun reprise out, but not as much because it's expensive. It's going to be expensive. So I'm really um, using some of my other scripts uh, to break in and make a name for myself, so that people will trust me with this big expensive project that is the Leprechaun reprise, which I'm just super excited about. Super excited about it, and but I guess that would be the one that is kind of sitting and waiting for the perfect moment.
That's amazing that you brought up Leprechaun, because I feel like Leprechaun does need a good movie, because I mean they did the last, I don't even know if that was a reboot, but it was one, and it even had the Leprechaun character in it. It was some kind of monster running through the woods.
Yeah, I
I'm
know what
like,
you're talking
this is
about.
yeah, I'm not. This is not a Leprechaun movie.
Yeah, yeah, it was different. I come from a pretty Irish background. I've always been fascinated by leprechauns and fairies and stuff like that. I guess as a writer, your imagination always hones in on certain types of characters or stories or folklore. And I remember being a kid and I watched Darby O'Gill and the Little People. It's a
Hmm.
Disney movie.
Yes.
Yeah, and ever since then, just leprechauns are my favorite character. And then, of course, grew up on the original Warwick Davis leprechauns, and I've seen every one of them. I love Warwick Davis, and I wanted to do a reprise sort of like that with those kind of leprechauns. But this isn't one. This is a whole bunch of them. You know.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So this is. I'm pretty excited about it. It's different, but it pays homage to that original scary leprechaun character that Warwick Davis so expertly portrayed. You know.
He
So
did a great job, because not only did he was he menacing and scary, but he also had some humor to him as well.
a lot of humor. Yeah,
Yes, yes. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the Leprechaun and the Hood movies, but
absolutely.
they're horrible, but they're amazing to watch.
Yeah.
And like him getting high, I mean, it's oh,
Yeah,
Leprechaun movies are some of my favorites. I even got the Funko Pops somewhere around here.
me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
I love the Leprechaun movies.
Yep.
Look at me crazy when I say that.
That's right. Yeah, I I dream about having him cameo in this one or be some kind of part of it, you know.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, that would be super, super special. That'd be great.
It's amazing. So, all right. So this is a fun part of the interview. I'm gonna ask you 3 random horror questions.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
All right. Who is your favorite final guy? Final guy in a horror movie?
Final guy, like final survivor.
Yes.
Hmm. I got to give it like, does it matter if it's male or female? Or
I'm just a
actually,
guy. I'm just a male.
oh, just a male.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. That's a good question. I might have to come back to you on that one. I love Sidney Prescott. You know, different survivors. I always hone in on movies where it's like a female survivor, I guess.
And that's the majority of them.
Yeah,
But
it is.
there are a couple. I actually did a ranking video of my top 5 favorite final guys because there's like 10 of them in the horror movies. It's not that many, but there's like 10 of them.
Who were your top 5?
So Ash from Evil Dead was number 1.
Okay, yeah.
And then who else did I had? I had the guy, I can't think of his name, from Hostel.
Okay.
One.
Yep.
Jay Hernandez, I believe that's his name, the actor. Then I had the boy from People Under the Stairs.
Yes.
Yes. Yep. And then who else did I have? Shit.
I would have to give it to Ash.
Yeah, Ash is the
great. Yeah. I was thinking more of like a guy who everybody's trying to kill in a movie, and he survives, not thinking main character. But yeah, Ash. Yeah. I would have to give it to Ash.
Tommy Jarvis. Tommy Jarvis was on my list too from Friday the 13th movies. Yeah. Okay, second question. And this is gonna be a hard one. What movie series do you wish they would stop making movies? Like, you know, like, okay, it's been done too much, or it's good right now. If you make any more movies, it's gonna start getting bad.
Right. I think the last 2 Screams were pretty good, so I can't say Scream. I didn't like what they did with the newest Nightmare on Elm Street. I guess the Leatherface character. I didn't really like the last couple, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then the Leatherface.
All been bad.
I didn't think they were great. So now it's like, instead of stopping, I'm like, now I'm just wanting somebody to make a great one again so that we can stop.
But can they though? I mean, because there's been like 4 bad ones in a row. Yeah. And they're constantly rebooting it. You know what I mean? Right. It's not, so these are not sequels. These are reboots.
Yeah.
And I'm like thinking stuff like, can it be done?
Yeah, that's a hard one, because it's like in the industry, it seems like they only want they don't want original content anymore. You know, they want something that they know is going to make money, and so they keep doing remakes and reboots, and it's kind of like, oh, bring us something original, you know. And if it'd be different if they make something, you know, awesome, you know what I mean? Yes. But it just doesn't seem to be the case. Of course, I say that, and my Leprechaun's going to come out and be like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. But so you never know, and it's different by the viewer. All you can do is stay true to yourself. So kudos to the filmmakers who are doing it. But yeah, I think that Texas Chainsaw Massacre would probably be the one. It's either stop or make a great one. You know what I mean?
See that, and that's up until. So Saw was my original answer until Saw X came out, which was amazing. Which was absolutely amazing. originally when they said it was coming out, I was like, oh crap, because it's been about a good 5 bad Saw movies in a row,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, please don't make any more Saw. Like, let me just remember the first 3 because they were great,
Yeah.
you know. And then Saw X came out, and Saw X might be the best one. It might be my favorite one.
I liked it. Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I was not expecting it to be good.
It's probably my second favorite one after the original, just because you
Yeah.
know, the original one was just so strong, and it started the whole thing. But yeah, they had about 5 in there that were
Yeah, it was the same thing over and over again, and it was just
Yeah.
milking the cow.
yeah.
But Conjuring is starting to do that right now. It's like they're going for cash grabs and just milking the cow, and like,
Yeah, I loved the first 2.
yes,
I loved them. And I liked, you know, some of the other ones as well, but to be honest, there's the last couple I haven't even seen.
oh, they're unwatchable. They're hard. They're
Yeah.
hard.
Okay.
I saw the last one in the movie theater, and I was like, is this over? Like, it was bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I guess you kind of pick that up from the trailer, or maybe it's just not as interesting. But yeah, I'm a little behind on those.
Yeah, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I agree.
Hmm.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I agree, because I love the first 2. I mean, the first 2, even the first reboot, I liked. The one with Jessica Biel, I liked that one.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. That was pretty good.
Yeah, but there's a whole lot. I mean, in that, I mean, you go to part 3, and then the Next Generation, and then everything that came after that first reboot has been like bad.
Yeah,
and I love Leatherface as a character.
Great character.
He just needs a good showing. He needs one good showing.
I was excited about that last one that was just specifically entitled Leatherface.
Yes.
It wasn't exactly. It was different. It wasn't exactly what I was expecting.
Oh, you're talking about that one, yeah.
Yeah. So it had its pros and cons. Of course, kudos to all the filmmakers. You know what I mean? The whole team. I don't think it was bad. You know, but
it had amazing gore in that one too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like gore. I'm a fan of it.
Okay. Final question. Who is your horror crush? Who is your horror character crush? Not icon, could be a final girl, could be anybody.
Horror character crush. And it's not, you know, I guess it could kind of be considered horror. There's a show called Lucifer. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yes.
And I cannot remember her. The girl who plays Mazikeen.
Okay.
The demon.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe got a little tiny crush. Don't tell my wife, but
that's a good one.
yeah. But yeah, she's a great character, and she's killed it every season, you know. And I would love to see that character and her be in a real gritty horror movie. I think she would do it so great.
Be amazing. Selma Hayek and Dusk from Dawn.
Absolutely.
That's my 100%. I mean, that's
up
until she turns into the vampire thing, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's not quite as hot, but she's still not bad as the vampire. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. So, Will, where can everyone find you, my friend?
My Instagram is Will Donahue 86, and on Facebook it's still William Donahue.
Awesome.
And yeah, I think that's about it. I think I have a Twitter and a TikTok, but I'm not very active on them. I don't use them much. So really, Instagram and Facebook.
Instagram, Facebook. All right, everybody, listen, get out there and check out The Mummy Murders. It's streaming on Apple, iTunes.
Yeah, it's on Apple. It's on Amazon. It's on Google Play. It's I could be on Spectrum. It's coming out on Tubi. And there's a couple of others, actually. We just made business cards to hand out at a convention, and it's got all of them on there. So yeah, it's popping up everywhere.
Nice. Definitely check it out, guys. It's a fun ride.
Please do. Please do.
Will, it's been a blast, man. Thanks
Hey,
for
I
coming
really
on.
appreciate it. It was great talking to you. I love watching your stuff. I think it's great what you're doing for the horror industry. And you've had some real cool characters on your show. So I really appreciate you letting me be on it.
You're welcome, my friend. Anytime.
Thank you very much.
And as a fellow mortician too. That's always
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I hope we stay in touch, man. That'd be,
exactly.
awesome.
Because we don't get our credit. By the way, I'm gonna do a PSA. You know, and when holidays come around, there's that little meme that comes on Facebook and social media and says, on your holidays, please think of, the people who are not home for, with their families, what's going on. And it has the firefighter, the police officer, the military guy, the doctor, the nurse. Where's the fucking mortician at? The mortician is working on the holidays too. Because when someone passes away, we have to leave our families on Christmas and Thanksgiving and the holidays as well. But we get no love. Absolutely no love.
Yeah, it's kind of like nobody wants to think about it, right? Nobody wants to think about death until it happens to them. So, yeah, I think that's great. That's a great PSA. And I know a lot of morticians out there that are like, oh, thank you, Travis.
Yes. Yeah.
So absolutely right. I'm there with you on that.
Yeah, so as a mortician who has a platform, thank your morticians.
Absolutely. And thank you, Travis.
Thank you, Will.
As an embalmer,
all right, guys.
And a podcast.
Yes, and a horror fan.
That's right.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for coming to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce. Y'all take care.